For me, the most important article of the human rights is the article number 27 that say everybody has the right to enjoy of arts and science. I was born in Istambul, educated in Italy and Switzerland. I studied political science, then I switched in art, and my first work was to create a contemporary art center in the campus of the University of Geneva. You can, with cinema, you can touch more people, but in the same time, you can also with art touch people then that they can think and enjoy and even cure, because for me art is also sort of cure for the soul. Also, art and culture are not expensive. Everybody can enjoy it. It's not necessary to buy, to possess, to like art. I was more or less, it was in 2014, I did this exhibition called Food. That was here in São Paulo as well, and in Marseille, in France, traveling. When we were really working on the curatorship, we realized that food is not just eating or for the health, etc., but is very much related to the earth. There is no food if there is not relation with the earth. So with the earth, with the animals, with the nature. So there is interdependence between what we eat and from where we eat or from where it comes. So that was the first step. Then a few years after, in 2017, we did another project called Aqua. And that was the relationship between the water and the human being, water and naturaleza. So, and there again, this concept of interdependencia came out. So, in the end, we did this film called Interdependencia, which is the relationship between the four elements: air, earth, fire, and water, and us, and the humans, and between themselves, etc. And so, also because it's related to very much to environment and to climate change.
Pico aquele waki hagatra para costote. When the cantinho cotton elega tuarita.
And so these two aspects, they were analyzed and then created by artists and filmmakers, and they did these very interesting short films from 6 to 11 about very relationship of the humans with these questions. My life is divided in two periods. One period is my traditional contemporary art period, with being director of art center, of museum, and working really to promote artists. And to promote artists and to not promote in a commercial sense, but promote their work and make their work accessible to the public, largest public. Then the second part is art for the world. Art for the world is a little bit different. It's in the title, Art for the World, Arte por el Mundo, which means that whatever we do, we offer to the world, but in the same time, we work with a certain awareness. In this case, we are not promoting artists. We are promoting concepts that the people are, let's say, touch problematic concepts and questions through art.
que na tua tulilo na tisakinha que tua tulilo. Wenda kuluene, wenda kuliseho, wenda tanguro.
We should not be very pretentious. Art can't change the world, art can't do anything. Art can only give awareness, give attention to the problem. But it's not that can change anything. So already bringing attention is very important. But then, through art and cinema, you can touch the heart of the people because you explain the complicated question with the simple stories and simple. You will see that in these films, what we see is what we feel everywhere. So even if it's geographically is India, far from Brazil, or is in Iceland, still there are the same preoccupation. So what is important in what art can do is art is universal. So put the people together and the same idea can travel without frontier because it's related to the heart more than to the... It was very important for us that we work in Brazil to have a Brazilian feel important. So therefore, Daniela's film with the Amazonian Jangu tribe is important because they are talking about water. And the water in these four elements, it looks that is the most important. Even if all the four elements are important. But so they speak about water, they speak about pollution, they speak about how the water was created, the healthy life that they had. Nothing really dramatic, but what they say touch directly the public everywhere. So therefore, I think this film of Daniela is very, very important. When you look the film, you realize that you have to be together. You can't stay alone and fight for your health, for instance. You can't stay alone to protect your family from catastrophe, disaster, natural. You have to be together. So this relationship between the people through this climate change is very important. So, and also, once that you realize that what is going on, do something. Don't throw things on the floor. Don't leave the robinet open all the time. Just each small action all together brings something important. So if each of us is careful, because if you don't have the awareness, you just waste things. But the moment that you have the awareness, you can do small actions, and this small action helps to make a bigger situation. So for me, art was all my life an exercise of learning.